Hi, everybody. I'm Mel Dorr, the Aloha Shirt Psychic. It's my new brand. I always wear Aloha shirts. I'm in the suburbs of Chicago. As you all know, I'm a medium and intuitive. I do want to give a shout out to a new YouTube channel I found, and it's called Foxes Afloat. It's really neat. It's about two gentlemen who are partners in life, and they live in the UK. They sold everything and bought a narrowboat. And these narrowboats are designed to travel the canals in Great Britain or in the UK. Um, and, you know, one of the gentlemen, I think his name is Colin, has, he's high functioning Asperger's. I think now they call it ASD, autistic spectrum disorder. But he's also got ADHD, as I do. Uh, and anxiety disorder, as I do, and he also suffers from periods of depression, as do I. So he talks about what it's like to have these disorders and how he's dealing with them. So he's doing a lot to promote mental health. But in addition, it's very educational because they talk about some of the places they visit, uh, and it's just really fun. They have a dog, Otis. I don't know what kind of dog he is, but it looks like a sweet dog. And so my husband and I are now talking about going to UK at some point and maybe taking a tour through the canals on a longboat. It looks like great fun. Anyway, check out their YouTube channel, Foxes Afloat. I don't know these gentlemen, but I just was so excited. Also want to say hi to Linda Grindel, my friend. We'll be doing a video really soon. Um, so I'm so thankful to Linda because it's because of her that I launched a YouTube channel and that my popularity has really grown. So Linda, thank you. um, anyway, boy, there's so much to talk about. I'm in my office today. It's around 8 o'clock in the morning here. Boy, have you looked and seen about DeSantis in Florida? You know, Florida accounts for nearly 1 in 5 new US infections. That's 20%. And rather than deal with the COVID crisis, what did Satan do? He criticized Biden for the issues at the border. Excuse me, why don't you take care of stuff in your own state, Mr. DeSatan? I asked my guides about this, and I intuit that DeSantis will be out of office. I know he's considering a run for the presidency, but I don't really feel him winning. The laws he's passing that people don't have to wear masks and this and that. I don't get the hypocrisy. It boggles my mind. He used to say that, it was Republicans who said that, business owners can restrict people from coming in if they think the person's gay or if they think the person's this or that. But now they take an about face because now they're saying that business owners can't require people to wear a mask and things like that. I have a business. And if the person hasn't been vaccinated when they come into this office, they must wear a mask, period, non-negotiable. They don't like it, they can go home. So DeSantis is doing absolutely nothing to fight this virus, zero, squat. Even tried to pass something about cruise ships that they couldn't require passengers to wear a mask. What's that about? If you have a religious reason or a medical reason not to get vaccinated, I understand that. But just because people are yapping about, oh, that's my right, and I don't have to wear a mask, and blah, blah, blah. Okay, it's not your right to infect others. And it's not your right, all right, then to require medical doctors to treat you because you ascribe to all this bull hockey going on. I saw a man, I forget what state it was, but he had been an anti-vaxxer, and I cried because he had got COVID, and he did a video from the hospital. He could hardly talk, and he's begging people to get vaccinated. I applaud him for his courage. But anyway, I intuit, my guides show me that DeSantis will be out of office in Florida. And, you know, this virus is now killing children. And when he makes this mandate in Florida that kids don't have to wear a mask when they go to school, every child that dies in Florida, of COVID should be attributed to DeSatan. In my opinion, he's guilty of murder. Nothing will ever happen to him, except he'll be out of office. You know, this virus being politicized from either side just doesn't work. We've got to get it under control. My guides do tell me it'll be under control because they show me that a vaccine for kids is going to be approved very, very soon. Yay. And it will be a safe vaccine. But I will lay you $1 to a donut that when that vaccine is approved, there are going to be governors like Abbott in Texas and DeSantis in Florida who are going to say, oh, well, we don't know about this vaccine for kids. It's not safe. It's this, it's that. Once again, fueling this, these theories that just aren't true. They're based on lies. In fact, when DeSantis attacked Biden, he lied about Biden. So here again, divert, detract, deceive. You know, it's the Trumplican stuff. So, Mr. DeSantis, I hope you can look in the mirror because you're responsible for 20% of the deaths in this country. Because what you're doing is fueling this Delta variant crisis. People that got vaccinated, if you get Delta variant, it's not going to make you that sick. It's not going to put you in the hospital. You're not going to die from it. The problem is people who refuse to get vaccinated. And I just pray that they come to their senses. I understand that the wildfires are kicking up in California again. And that's probably due to climate change. I understand there's 96 active fires in Northern California. I asked my guides about Linda Grindel and her family, and they assured me that Linda Grindel and her family will be safe. So Linda, if you're watching, you'll be safe, my dear. At least that's what my guides tell me. You know, I'm seeing that there's going to be a lot from the Biden administration done with climate change to help stop it. And as I said, I intuit that we haven't tipped the scale too far yet. We can still, with legislation and with infrastructure packages and all that, pull out of this climate change nightmare that we're in. I just started reading the book, I Alone Can Fix It. It's written by Philip Rucker, and I can't think of the other lady's name who wrote it. And it's about the last year that Trump was in office. And it talks about when the COVID thing first came out. And they did absolutely nothing. Trump was more concerned about when he stopped the flavored vaping on the market. He was more concerned about how that would hurt him politically. He didn't care what it did to people, COVID or the vaping. He just wanted to make sure that those things didn't hurt him politically. He kind of pushed COVID away, and then he put Pence in charge of it. Pence didn't have a clue. And Pence let Jared Kushner run everything, who didn't have a clue. And had they taken steps earlier on when they knew this virus was out there and listened to the people at the CDC who tried to warn them, we wouldn't even be having this conversation. So in my opinion, the Trump administration is responsible for this virus that got out of control in this country. There could have been so much that they did. You know, it was the Trump administration who took credit for getting the vaccine out there, but yet that same person and the same Trumplicans are now the anti-vaxxers, and they're fueling these conspiracy theories about the vaccine. I've talked to medical professionals. It's not going to rewire your RNA. Most people don't even know what RNA is. They're not going to put things in it where they can trace you. They can do that through your cell phone if they want it. So everybody, provided that you're not morally opposed and provided that you're not religiously opposed or that you have a medical condition that you can't take the vaccine, everybody else, please, 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 please get vaccinated. It'll save your life, but not only save your life, will save the lives of others. Read the book, I Alone Can Fix It. It's really a good book. It's frightening. But I do see vaccines coming out for kids. All right. I've just learned that Iran, however you pronounce it, has elected an ultra-conservative an ultra-conservative president to oversee their government. But you know what's funny? I had a psychic flash about a revolution in that country. Just like what happened when Carter was president, there are going to be people that aren't religious and people that are tired of the repressive regime of the Ayatollahs. They're going to stand up and they're going to start fighting back. And I'm seeing a revolution in Iran. And I think it's going to happen within the next few years, 2 or 3 years. And I can see Iran once again being a democracy and not ruled by these Ayatollahs. But you know, in a way, the same thing is happening here. The ultra-religious right, the minority, is trying to tell us in the majority what to do. And if those ultra-religious right, you know, a lot of them are fascist. A lot of them, if you're not white and straight, they don't like you. Well, in my opinion, Jesus had room in his tent for everybody. So, you know, we can talk about what's going on in the Middle East, but the same thing happened here with Trump and his cronies. So we all have to stand up and say enough is enough, because our democracy in this country is teetering, and it's up to us to stop this. I do see at some point, my guides show me that these voter suppression laws will be changed. Yay, they won't hold up. So this modern Jim Crow won't last. I understand that Mexico filed a lawsuit against 11 gun manufacturers here in the United States because the firearms that are getting from US into Mexico illegally, and it was filed in a court in Boston. And my feeling is Mexico will win that lawsuit. So maybe that'll help bring about some gun control. I believe in people's right to carry arms, but not assault rifles and not all of that stuff. So I intuit that Mexico will win that suit. Might go up to the Supreme Court. People are asking about Trump. Well, Humpty Dumpty sat on the wall, Humpty Trumpty had a great fall. He will be indicted. And the you-know-what's starting to hit the fan already. I mean, look at how he's already hired lawyers so that he thinks he doesn't have to turn his tax returns over to Congress. Guess what? He'll have to. He'll try to take it to the highest court, and he'll just do these delay tactics. And what they're trying to do, I think, is delay till after the midterms, because they're thinking then that the Republicans and the Trumplicans will take over the House. But I see that the Democrats holding on to the House and gaining a lot of seats in the Senate. So, so Trump will be indicted. I think one of his daughters is going to flip on him. I don't know about Weaselberg if he'll flip, but I see some other people coming forward and flipping. So I think the government's got a lot more than what they're saying. And I think the DOJ is going to start stepping in with Merrick Garland a lot more about all this stuff with Trump, especially about the insurrection and the interference of the Russians in the 2016 election. I mean, Trump tainted almost everything in this country. People are asking me about Great Britain, about their prime minister. I see a different prime minister coming into power in Great Britain. So the one that's there now, I can't think of his name, Boris something or other, he'll be gone. Anyway, Mitch McConnell, I don't want to act too hastily on getting this bill approved for infrastructure. You know, we can't act hastily on these things. But yet when I wanted the Supreme Court justice put through, I acted real hastily on that. But yet when the Democrats wanted Merrick Garland on the Supreme Court, I didn't act hastily at all. I only act hastily when it's good for me. Well, Mitch, doesn't quite work that way. Mitch, you're on your way out. My guide, show me. Bye. Boy, the hypocrisy, I just don't get it. Anyway, people are asking about Cuomo. I see him out of office. My guide showed me him out of office. I intuit that if he's not impeached, then that they'll tell him he's got to resign, because, I just see him out of office. I'm wondering if there's many criminal charges filed against him. And I do see charges filed against him in the state of New York. I don't know the outcome yet, but I'll think about it and I'll let you know. But, he is in hot water. I don't agree with sexually harassing anybody. I don't care if you're Democrat, Republican, Independent, it just isn't right. But here again, the hypocrisy of some of the Republicans when they're saying, get rid of Cuomo, but yet they went along with Trump with Stormy Daniels when Trump said he's grabbing people by the what, and that was okay. That was just locker room talk. But yet now they're on Biden hook, line, and sinker. Now I'm sorry, not Biden. I apologize. I'm Cuomo. I'm not sticking up for Cuomo, but I just don't get the double standards. Maybe some of you all can help me with that one. Here in Chicago, the weather's been nice, but it's really hazy. And I can't remember this kind of haze ever here. And it's coming from the fires out west. And a lot of people here are having respiratory issues. So, the haze is supposed to come back. So people, here in Chicago, if you're older, you have respiratory issues, stay inside, because it's really been bothering my allergies too. I do think they'll contain some of those fires. So thank God for that. Anyway, there's just so much going on. I'm like, whoa. I had to stop the recording for a second. Anyway, to the Olympics, oh my goodness, the Caleb Dressel, wow, he really cleaned up. I love swimming. I was a swimmer when I was a kid, and I just love anything to do with water, like ice skating. I love ice hockey. I used to ice skate. Can't do it much anymore. I'm too old, but I used to water ski. Being from Kentucky, I learned to water ski when I was knee-high to a grasshopper, as we say down there. Anyway, United States is doing really well, so it at least brings a sense of camaraderie. So Caleb, keep up the good work. I understand the pressures on the Olympians are just so incredible. And I can't think of the girl's name, but I admired her for stepping aside for her mental health. And so I'm all about mental health. And so I'm so proud of our Olympians. I used to help coach ice skating, and I know how hard those kids have to work. They're skating like 4 or 5 hours a day sometimes. It's a lot of work, a lot of dedication. So I honor our Olympians. Yay. Makes me proud to be an American. My guides show me that there's going to be a lot more indictments coming out against Trump, especially that bombshell that happened yesterday, I think, that Jeffrey Clark, and I have to see, he was in charge at the Department of Justice of the Civil Division. And after the election, he wrote a letter and he wanted Rosen and Rosen's deputy to send it to, I think, the elections officials in Georgia, and wanting Georgia to have their governor step in and the government step in to try to overturn the election, saying that there was a fraud when really there wasn't. And it was discovered that Jeffrey Clark had been introduced to Trump prior to that, okay? And they're thinking that he and Trump got their heads together in an attempt to overtake this election. And as I said earlier in this video, Trump's nasty fingers tainted so much in this country. And it's just, we're just peeling it all back. And this commission, this 1-6 commission, is going to bring a lot of this out. This is bombshell. So I got a funny feeling. My guides are telling me that this Jeffrey Clark at some point is going to be under indictment. And they're going to pressure him to have him at least flip on Trump. And I think he'll do it. A lot is coming out. I'm just flabbergasted by it all. Trump's going to say that he didn't know about it, blah, 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 blah. But there's proof. And I think Trump is going to have some charges filed against him federally because of interfering with an election, which really isn't legal for a president to do. Trump didn't care about his constituents. You know, according to the book, I Alone Can Fix It, Trump didn't care about anybody. The only thing he cared about was staying in power. He would throw anybody under a bus. He would do anything to stay in power. He was more, when the COVID thing broke out, he wasn't worried about people dying. He was worried about his reputation, how it was going to hurt him in the elections. And I say, if it wouldn't have been for COVID, Trump might have won, which would have been horribly frightening. We're still not out of the woods yet, but I see this Jeffrey Clark under indictment. You know, here again, I think they're trying to put it off till after the midterms because they're thinking, well, if the Republicans take over the House and they can stop some of this stuff. You know, the Senate, the Dems will gain seats in the Senate. So I see in the future Senate investigations coming out with this as well. So it's going to take a while, but there's a lot more that's going to be uncovered. My guides tell me. So this was bombshell. There's a lot more that's going to come to light. My guides show me, I intuit, about Trump's interference in this election. You know, yeah, the Russians helping him in 2016. A lot of that'll come out. And I agree with Linda Grindel. At some point in history, it's going to be declared that he really wasn't a president. While I'm on the subject, Kavanaugh, a lot more is going to come out about him, to the point that they're going to ask him to resign or be impeached. I see him off the court. And I still see Biden adding more justices on the court. So my guides show me that as well. Anyway, sorry for my rambling as usual. I jump all over the place. But everybody please check out Fox's Afloat. It's really neat. You know, it's not political. It's just really cool. I think you'll like it. All right, so if you're new, please hit the subscribe button. I appreciate all the support and all the people I'm meeting and reading, and oh my goodness, it's just been wonderful. Thanks to Linda Grindel, who encouraged me to do all this again. Anyway, I wish you all well, and I'll talk to you soon. So from the Aloha Shirt Psychic to you, namaste, and from everybody here in Chicago, stay well, and to my friends on the Hawaiian Islands, aloha. All right, bye-bye.